Snowville was an albino bull. He was a legend in his time. His pink eyes glowed like cinders and his horns spread sharp and wide. He had a hide of pure white satin and it shined like Texas hail, all except for the brand on his left hip and a green patch under the tail. Now old Snowville made his living on the circuit rodeo. He'd send them riders a-flying and the clowns running to and fro. If a rider drew old Snowville, you could bet your Wrangler shirt you either got a high point ride or a face full of blood and dirt. Now old Rufus had rode his share of bulls before he become a clown, and underneath all that makeup, that cowboy's face was brown. The riders paid him tribute, none of them had put him down. They knew their lives was in his hands once they hit the ground. Now Rufus and old Snowville, they'd done many a rodeo. The crowds had watched Snowville send that clown on many a barrel roll. They respected one another. It was more like play than fight, and old Snowville, he got some extra grain behind the sheets at night. But it was in a place down south of here once when old Rufus, he was all alone. His mouth just dry as cotton one hot old afternoon. He walked into the nearest bar. All he wanted was one cold beer. But the bouncer looks him up and down. He says, "Y'all can't drink in here." Well, Rufus got steamed up all right. He thought he'd paid his dues, and he left that place remembered why his people sang the blues. And being just a tad outnumbered, he left without a fight. He headed back to the rodeo grounds and he borrowed a truck that night. Now that honky-tonk was really jumping, had that hoorah, hee-haw sound. The band was on its second break, just a slugging that bourbon down. There was cards and dice and dancing, wild turkey, beer and gin, when the back door busted open and Snowville wandered in. History got made that night and Snowville changed the rules, sent the bouncer to the ladies' room and the barmaid wet her stool. Sent the pool table flying, wedged it up against the door, then he knocked the lights out with his horns when he jumped behind the bar. Snowville stomped and snorted, raking bottles off the shelves, with his foot stuck in the spittoon, keeping time with his brass bell. Had that barkeep's apron snagged across the horns above his eyes when he spun and chased a pool shark halfway across that dive. By then, the barroom floor was inches deep in beer and whiskey foam. Snowville stopped just long enough to add a little of his own. Pabst Blue Ribbon mixed with cords, vodka mixed with draft. He was heading for the bandstand. Through it all, he bucked and splashed. Well, a bass player tried to reach the door, but he had to dodge behind an amp as Snowville hooked the pedal steel and he wore it for a hat. The piano made a mournful honk when his tail struck a chord. He whirled, he charged that baby grand and turned it into boards. Then Snowville stopped abruptly and he made to paw the ground. He squared off with his jukebox. It was Ernest Tubbs' turn now. And the colored lights exploded as him and Nashville did collide and filled the air like falling rain with top 40 45s. Well, a bouncer, he was praying in the second toilet stall as Snowville charged the mirror outside and his head broke through the wall. Last thing that bouncer remembered, what he told the boys in blue, was this black man's face asking him, "Is he white enough for you?"